One of the things that the strategic plan enables you as a director to do is to monitor how we're going against creating the future. So the whole purpose behind a strategic plan is for us to, as a board, agree on what are these top 3, 4 or 5 key things which are actually going to create the future. And to use those top 3, 4, 5 key things to help us monitor what we should be monitoring. Now, why is that important? Well, if you look at what is a strategic plan, our view and our definition of that is very simply this. It's the top 3 or 4 key things that the board have agreed have to occur in the next 2 to 3 years. So that means that these are the top things that we've already agreed have to occur in the next 2 to 3 years that will help us deliver against our vision, deal with our strengths and our weaknesses, deal with any scenarios that might come up, deal with any changes to the environment that are occurring out there, position us so that no matter what the future throws at us, we are in good shape. That's a good strategic plan. Now, in there will be these 3 or 4 key things, and each one of those will have their own action plan. So there'll usually be 3 or 4 key action plans under each one of those key areas or those key strategies. Now, the trick with this, however, is, and we see this missing in over 70% of all the strategic plans we see, and we see over 1,500 a year for all sorts of different reasons. The 2 things that are missing from over 70% of them are very clear time frames, start date and finish date, and very clear success measures. How do we know if this has been worthwhile? Is this getting us the outcome that we actually thought that we were after? And they're missing from way too many strategic plans. Now, why this is important is that if you've got time frames, then you can hold yourself accountable within those time frames. And if you've got success measures, then you can hold yourself accountable that within those time frames we're achieving these outcomes that we said are really important for us to achieve. There's where your accountability from your strategic plan comes in. If you don't have those things, then you've got a set of wish lists. So the 2 elements of time frames, start and finish date, and also the outcomes or the success measures is what makes a good strategic plan. Now, why this is important is that your board agenda should start to reflect these 3 or 4 key elements. Now, why? Well, we've already agreed they're the top 3 or 4 key things that we've got to get right. We've already agreed they're the most important things. So therefore, our main reason to meet as a board is to make sure that these 3 or 4 really important things are on track, or whether they're still the right 3 or 4 key things and whether or not they need to change. We're not there to make sure that the staff are busy. We're there to create the future through the work that we do with strategy, risk, governance, finances, compliance. They're all tools to help us make sure that we're actually creating the future through the work that we do. But too often we get sidetracked in looking at the tools and thinking that's the end game. That's why we're there, is to make sure that we manage the finance, we manage the risk, we understand the legal compliance, that we're, they're important, but they're only tools to help us create our vision, to help us create the future.